Tell them why it became Polish. It was the cheapest business name we could come up with.
If you named your company your name, there was no filing. It was your name. Little did I know that as things grow, there is a lot of responsibility. It puts a lot of weight on your shoulders, and it put a lot of weight on the boys' shoulders when they were young. You start representing a company that I had no idea at the time we were going to grow and be the size that we are today. So I wouldn't advise it, in the future. My framing career started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. I grew up from a single parent home and felt a lot of responsibility young. I felt like, you take care of the home, take care of mom, that kind of thing. And so I graduated from high school as a junior, went right into framing. I framed all through high school on the side. I'd get extra work that way and kind of learned that I wanted to do construction. I was in Milwaukee, started framing, and then moved out to Oregon. And it was a couple years after moving here that we did the first home. Big blessing of moving here as a framer was I knew how to stick frame. And when I came here and got a job with a union company, the first project they had was a stick frame apartment building. And they didn't know how to build a wall laying on the ground. So I knew how to tip that whole thing up. And so it was just accelerated I was a foreman at 19 years old, because I knew how to do that. Along the way, they would ask me, well, how should we do this? And how should we do that? And as they kind of asked those questions, I thought, well, man, I'm making the decisions, for these guys, and I can build homes. Little do you know, you only know your little small part of it. And you don't know the bigger picture of the whole home construction and all that's involved with finance and the world that I had no idea was out there. So it was a big learning curve when we built our first home. Beverly helped me with the books, and
that didn't go so well.
This last fall, we went back to Wisconsin for the first time in 20 years. I don't know if any of you have done that when you go back that many years, but it was like, holy smokes. And this bath, it was my sister, my grandma, and my mom. We lived in this home with one bathroom. And all the neighborhood kids there was just a lot of us in the neighborhood, a lot of boys, and we would camp out, build forts and all this stuff. And there's this little triangle. This triangle is where we all went and played soccer and football and baseball and all this. And I just remember this triangle like it was huge, because I couldn't throw the ball from one end to the other, And we were playing football. I remember throwing a pass, and it's like, oh, I got halfway down the field, Well, Dan and I go look at this triangle. It was small, really small. And that's where I grew up. That's where kind of the community thing, I think some of you have heard me say in some of the meetings about community, and people there, watch each other's kids. And I remember dads, if I was getting out of line, they would kind of put their hand on my shoulder kind of hard and direct me in the right direction, or say, knock it off, And so community was very important. And so I love that we're doing communities now where we're building special places for people to meet and to share time together in the clubhouses and the trails and that kind of thing. So my passion, shifted over the years to home building when my sons and other people here started taking over the home building process, and it allowed me to focus on the land and the community. So I got to say that's still a rush for me to, now it's not so much seeing the finished home like it was back then. Remember we'd finish a home and really get a good feeling, but now it's seeing a community finished. So it changes over time, but I believe we have the best people. I know we have the best people. I talk to other, companies our size, and they always struggle with people. I'm so proud of our people. It thrills me. We really do. We got some good team players.